Hey gang, it's Paul with Stud Pack. We're up here in northern Washington at Nooksack Falls. Brad's taking us around this morning, checking out some of the scenery. We're going to show you a few clips of that before we go back down the mountain and get to work. We hope you enjoy it. But check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Hey gang, it's Paul with Stud Pack. Welcome back to our channel. We're here in Washington State, almost near the Canadian border, working on this rental upgrade property. In the previous video, you saw us change all the floor in this house, all new base in the entire home, and all new casing. In fact, all this has been caulked. It's almost ready for paint. And in fact, we gave my daughter a lesson in how to do this morning. Why don't we go in the back of the house and check on her? Hey Summer, how's it going?
Good.
You're doing a fine job.
Learn from the best.
Well, I taught you. What do you mean?
So, what's the hardest part of this job?
Probably bending down and
Being low to the ground.
being low to the ground
Mm-hmm.
for all day, pretty much.
Yep. And then I noticed you have this black line on there. What's all that about?
Oh yeah. So that is so I know where the top is, so that the angle is always precise.
Perfect.
And just bring it down, and then you gotta.
Sometimes that
Push,
helps.
yeah.
No, stage fright. Oh no. All right.
You push that to release the pressure, and then you gotta smooth it out with your finger.
And how is that finger?
It's actually okay.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty smooth.
This is pretty light texture right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My finger just gets destroyed. Yeah, that is pretty smooth.
I'm sure it'll
Yeah.
hurt a little more
When-
tomorrow.
If
but-
it's like just textured drywall, it's like sandpaper. But thanks for joining the pack.
Of course.
All right, gang. So changing the floors and changing all the trim in this house, about 2.5 days. We're towards the end of day 3 here, but we're gonna keep going. And that's with a crew of 5 people. And sometimes we're all 5 working on a project. Sometimes it's only 3 of us. We send the other 2 off. One goes to get lunch or
Coffee runs.
coffee, and the other goes to the store for supplies.
Right.
But we're almost ready to paint, and I think I wanna start in this room by clearing it out and covering these floors. I'm gonna totally cover it with paper, the whole house actually, and trim the edges with blue tape, so when we spray, our beautiful new floors are protected.
Let's get started.
All right, let's clear this room out and get our paper and tape, knee pads, and get going.
Call me the Joker, call me the fool. When she calls, I always seem to lose my cool.
Alrighty gang, yesterday you saw us lay paper in this whole house to protect that brand new floor we installed. And then we spent yesterday evening and this morning taping the rest of the house. The windows, the outlets, the switches, the lights, cabinets. It never ends. You think you're done. And then there's one more thing we have to tape. So the cabinets are all covered. Going down the hallway, we covered the return air grill. So what happened with the ceiling? We were just gonna paint the ceilings in the closets and the pantry and the bathrooms. And then we noticed that this ceiling needs a coat of paint. So we just taped off the 3 light fixtures and the return air grill, so it's ready to go. You can see in the bathrooms, there's a lot to tape off. The tub, counter, the back side of these face frames, so we don't blow paint inside the cabinet. The light fixtures, everything. It just goes on and on how much stuff needs to be painted. But it's well worth it because once you start painting, you can just fly. We're actually gonna start in the very back of the house in this bathroom, work our way out. That way our hoses aren't rubbing against freshly painted door frames. And there's one more thing we need to do. There's always a fine layer of dust on the floor and the sprayer will blow it into the nice fresh paint and it really upsets me. So we're gonna go around and vacuum all that first real quick. But the house is ready. There's one thing that's not ready, and that's our sprayer. So Rad bought a Graco Magnum X5. It's a step down from the X7 that you see us use on our channel. And it's actually still inside the box. So why don't we unbox it and see how similar or how different it is than the one we use. That looks the same to me. Mine's all torn up.
Oh, remember when ours used to look like that?
Yep, now it's all white. Prime button, right?
Yep.
Dial prime button all looks the same.
What's that red thing on the front?
That's where the hose goes.
Got it.
It's just a protective cap. Yep. Alrighty gang, we are about ready to spray this house. We got our X5 Magnum by Graco like we talked about. Jordan and I have an X7 that you always see us use in the video.
Ours is white though.
Yep, it is white. This thing may have some internal parts that are not as high a quality as the X7, but what we noticed is there's no dolly. Ours sits up about this high. It's got wheels. You can hook a 5-gallon bucket there and one person can move the machine and the paint around the job site. On this one, they've got this snorkel hose. This is gonna sit on the ground. That's gonna go on our paint. So it's gonna be a kind of a 2-hand job. Maybe we gotta take this out, put it in the little cup holder right there.
Oh yeah,
See that? You get a little cup holder, maybe on this side, like that. Seems like it's kind of a hassle, but we're gonna find out. So this one's about $100 less than the X7. The X7 is rated for more gallons per year, doing more houses per year, more production style. But for a DIY, this one might be perfect. I'm anxious to give it a try on this house and see what it's got. But first, we're gonna get ourselves protected because the house is protected. From the overspray, now we have to get protected. So we have some bunny suits, extra large, we each have one. Rad's already got on his overshoes. Check it out, Rad. So why don't we bring this in the back, suit up, prime this thing, and start spraying.
Dude, we look like chickens with those, dude. I know, dude. Look at you.
Look, this is when I look like chickens.
Nice. There you go. There you go, dude.
Alrighty guys, we are done. We got this whole house painted with that Magnum X5 sprayer. Did a great job. No real hiccups. Rad did have a little problem in the dining area.
Little.
Pretty big holiday. Pretty big run, but we took care of it. And but he's got to learn how to use this machine because it's his, and we want to teach him how to use it so he can spray other houses and furniture and the garage and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of this machine, the first thing I noticed that was such a big difference from the one we're using is the tip. Now it's the same tip, I just realized mine's worn out. All the pros say they can tell when a tip is worn out, and now I know what they're talking about. That's a 515 tip. I'm gonna go home and get some new ones. So back home in Baton Rouge, we can buy respirators now for like when we're painting, but up here, nobody has them. Just
Still
like
hard to find up here.
Yep, they sure are. So we want to go over some of the details with you on how we painted this house, especially the big shield we made. Like we said at the beginning of this series, we're using what we got. If we don't have it, we have to make it, and that's exactly what we did. So we want to show you all those details, but it's late, and we want to let this paint dry so we don't risk messing it up. So we're going to shut the door, go home, clean up, get some rest, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hey gang, it's the next day. Let's show you this house and how the paint came out. We already took some of the plastic down to get some light in here so you can see it really well. That sprayer did an awesome job. Check out that door. It was never painted before. It just had the gray factory primer on it.
Yeah, it looked like this.
Yep, this is a steel door. And this fiberglass door, same thing, never painted. So we're gonna take care of that too. Let's head to the back of the house in one of the bedrooms. We wanna peel some of that tape to show you how nice it looks. And we wanna show you that custom spray shield that we made. Let's talk about the spray shield since it's right here. Now we were gonna tape all the ceilings about a foot away from the walls. That gives that sprayer enough room where you can spray the walls without spraying the ceiling. That was a lot of work. We were kind of done taping after we did this whole floor and this whole house and everything else. So we just made this giant spray shield out of the refrigerator box. And this is actually a vertical blind slat. And we just taped it to there. It kind of looks like a guard, doesn't it?
It does. And this is a super thin edge. The reason we taped this, because we don't want to use the thick cardboard edge.
We tried that, but it was too thick.
Right.
And so you saw us, Jordan and Rad were able to hold it up, and I could get under there, shoot it, and we could do our room in just a couple of minutes. Worked out great. Here's one of our windows. Let's see how it came out. Yep. That paint is releasing just fine. See right here, all the hardware for the room is on the windowsill, so it doesn't get lost and it doesn't get painted. Cool. All right, you want to pull up some of this paper on the floor?
We have yet to see the new paint with the floors.
Yeah.
So this will be like kind of the first look at how the whole rest of the house is going to look.
Let me move this and we'll try it over here. We got some good white.
Let's do it, man.
Look at that. Oh, little whisper right there, right there. Let's fix that.
Wow.
Awesome. So clean. It smells brand new. Alrighty guys, this whole house is painted. It looks fantastic. This room, it looks like a brand new house in here.
Yeah.
This house isn't that old, but I tell you what, it sure updates this house, and I know he's not gonna have any problem renting this. I mean, look at that view back there. It's beautiful. Just a couple of bald eagles out there will be perfect. All this trim came out perfect. Remember, all this was stained with a clear coat. This piece here, the apron was original, but remember, we put in all new baseboard and all new casing. I love that detail right there. Small things like that don't cost a lot of money or a lot of extra time that really add to a house. So in this house, we had 4 big things to do. We had all new floors, done. All new trim, done. Paint the whole inside, done. And the next step is tile, which is going to be in the next video. So we're going to wrap this one up. Get some masking tape, tape off that like button for us. Make sure you got a good tip on your sprayer. Get that thing a good coat of paint. Smash it for us. Like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.